Sicilian defense, open, accelerated dragon, Maroczy bind formation, 5, BG76.B3 NF67.B3NF670.BD710.QD2NXD411.BXD4BC612.F3A513.B3. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was a well-fought middle game that Black got the better of. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn, since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. The c-pawn in the Sicilian defense controls the d4 square. Nf3 moves the knight toward the center in anticipation of a pawn push on d4, where it will be ready to retake the piece if Black captures on d4. c6 aids in maintaining control over the d4 and e5 squares. d4 offers to trade a center pawn for the c5 pawn in exchange for more control of the center and quick development. Cx d4 provides Black 2 key pawns while giving White only one. Nx d4 recaptures the pawn and activates the knight in return for having one central pawn versus Black's 2 central pawns. g6 prepares to fianchetto the dark squared bishop on g7, where it will sit on the long diagonal. c4 obtains room on the queen side and center and gets ready to advance the knight to c3. Fianchetto move bg7 places the bishop on the long diagonal. b3 develops the bishop toward the center and protects the d4 knight. nf6 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e4 pawn and prepares castling. nc3 develops the knight toward the center, protects the e4 pawn and controls the d5 square. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. b2 develops the bishop and prepares castling. d6 supports the e5 square and allows the light squared bishop to develop. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. bd7 develops the bishop toward the center and supports the knight on c6. qd2 develops the queen, connects the rook and creates a battery with the bishop along the c1h6 diagonal. Nx d4 trades Black's c6 knight for White's central knight. Bx d4 recaptures the knight on d4. bc6 attacks the pawn and places the bishop on the a8h1 long diagonal. f3 protects the e4 pawn and controls g4. a5 controls the b4 square. b3 adds a defender to the c4 pawn. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. This develops a rook off its starting square, getting it into the action. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. Games master. It is the final book action. That's a decent move. That's good. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. Among the best actions. It is quite good. A powerful play. It is quite good. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. It's alright. That's good. There were worse maneuvers, but there were also much better ones. It is incorrect. Very precise. It is best. It is a fair deal after all captures. It is ideal. Recaptures. This can indicate that a pawn is being attacked. That's good. The game was almost evenly matched, but Black is now worse. It is incorrect. White had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. It is an inaccuracy. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was a well-fought middle game that Black got the better of.